we're going to go on with Darryl Alladice. Now, Darryl is a poet in the tradition of the great poets. He's in the tradition of Paul Dunbar, Robert Hayden, James Baldwin, Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes.
Wow.
And he's from Brooklyn, so he's also in the tradition of Tom Kane, Ken Singleman, and Anthony Vigorito, who runs a reading in Brooklyn celebrating these two Brooklyn poets. Darryl read with us before. I heard him at Anthony Vigorito's reading quite a while ago, and he read for us about 2 years ago, and I'm so honored that he's joining us once again. So let's hear a warm welcome for Darryl Alladice. And he has some books for sale, which you can talk to me after this. Darryl, thank you so much.
Thank you. How y'all doing? Okay. Good. Bernard, I want to say thank you, and Diane, for what you do, and for what they do for the poetic community, in terms of supporting the writers and the readers of writers throughout. I would say throughout New York. What's one? Is that better? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. More? Okay. So I want to thank you for what you do, for reaching out, and just continuing. What you think it is. What you think it is depends on your frame of mind. What you think it is. Beginnings. I come from 217 West 111th Street in Harlem. Hard pavement, street stickball, fire escapes, rooftops with leaking gaps. Men wearing floor-shine shoes, me still in Buster Brown's. Slinking into my seat in Hank's barbershop on 7th Avenue. Black soldiers paraded up and down the avenues and then stopping in front of the Teresa Hotel. Mingling and saluting one another, a limited few chomping on stogies and proudly displaying a croix de guerre. JFK and Fidel passed through once, policemen on rooftops with rifles, another parade, and then another. My grandmother yanking us twice to pay attention. I remember cool orange ice pops drooling down my arm, being mesmerized by riding with my first female bus driver, maneuvering the number 2 bus south to 110th Street, then turning east along Central Park, then turning south again, along 5th Avenue, along Museum Mile, and ending up in the Village, buying 10 cents creamsicles, more drool down my arm. From windows and window plants, tree leaves waved. With their eyes, Mrs. Bell and her crew protecting us, informing our parents when we arrived home too early for the afternoon snack, or accidentally let slip cuss words from our mouths while helicoptering on roller skates between cars. Being more daring than Spider-Man without moves, beginnings. In Brooklyn, on MacDougal Street, was Sylvester reading Ellison's Invisible Man on his stoop, and then Fahrenheit 451, my introduction to Bradbury, and then Le Guin and Delaney, and then Octavia Butler. Watching us play ball, reading, watching us play ball. George getting a bit rough with Jimmy Jones during touch football. Jimmy shoved him harder. Shirley reading Siddhartha by Hess. Chewing Doublemint gum at the pharmacy candy counter. Reading, chewing gum, popping a purple now and later in her mouth, her lips becoming wetter now than 5 minutes before. Inviting me to a blue light basement party. The Jackson 5 sang Smokey's Who's Loving You on continuous play. Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, then the Dells, then Archie Bell and the Drells. Slow dance with Paulette, her bra, ace, deuce, quattro, triple padded with tissues. Her hair double dipped in pomade, chomping on the same purple now and laters. I kissed her blue-black face anyway and pulled her pencil-thin Trinidadian frame closer as I felt a rise in warm wetness occurring inside my silver sharkskin pants I bought at Albies on Fulton Street, many blocks away from where we were now living on St. John's Place. For years to come, my formative years in Brooklyn, riding Willie's borrowed colored twin past the lone maple tree on Virginia Place, a warm baby Ruth in my white shirt pocket. Learning to ride a bike at 7 in Central Park across 110th Street. My father pushing me several times before letting me go on my own, a precursor to what was to come. Kicking at the pigeons during a stickball game, taking most of his clothes, leaving my sister Denise and I. My mother tossed his remaining clothes and pipes from our 5th floor window saying, well, he's gone. never to see him until I was 13, then 21, then 26, and then who cares? Blue fingers, yellow eyes, autumn exodus of fireflies. Ooh, that man. Captain, my eyes turn south to you. You always set the pace, Doug. Forcing us to keep up, Doug, starting a half century ago at 56 St. Nicholas Avenue, where you established the run for the 4 heartbeats behind you. Gary, Billy, Neil, and me. Always me, far, far behind, catching my breath, breathing hard. I already had pneumonia twice before figuring out you couldn't stop because you were still trying to figure out if you were a jet or a shark from West Side Story. Spending those Saturday afternoons in the Morningside Theater hypnotized by Goldfinger and Dr. No. Your sister Peggy was giving us grueling dance lessons on the Heat Wave, the skate, and the uptown version of the twist, determined to turn us into the Pips. Ooh, that man. Watching Jackie Wilson stroll down 7th Avenue, stopping in Hank and Henrietta's barbershop for his new process, jet black, jet black, jet black, before the matinee at the Apollo, and then the evening show. Me, that 4th heartbeat behind you, playing stickball, learning the sewer rule. During our 7-year-old innocence one cold February night, Doug, we sent arcs of urine from the rooftop, watching the steamy streak of silver turn golden in the snow. Barely missing Mrs. Bell when she leaned out the window on the 2nd floor. Who did that? The following spring, the Mets played their first game in the Polo Grounds with a catcher by the name of Choo Choo Coleman. Ooh, that man. And Willie Mays came through with the Exiled Giants, giving us out new Spaldings, showing us how to really play the game. Floyd Patterson in the penny candy store buying us penny candies, showing us feints and jazz before fading away in the shadows of a new guy by the name of Cassius Clay. Ooh, that man Ali. That summer we spent lazy afternoons slurping purple ice pops, drinking White Rock grape sodas. My teeth and tongue are deep purple, making my very, very yellow eyes really glow. In the mornings, you bag groceries in Raymond's store, sometimes from dawn to dusk, Captain. Earning your own nickels, dimes, quarters, showing us how to graduate into the world of work, paying allegiance to our grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles. You that man, Doug. Uncle Bill moving 2 tons of trash a day on his sanitation truck with his Popeye arms. After there was no more water for the fire, you moved to the Bronx, a world away from Harlem. Uncle Wesley's no-look passes in the armory. I learned to take the 26 bus over the Willis Avenue Bridge, riding the elevator from the 14th floor to the 1st floor, from the 14th floor to the 1st floor, asking you to give me and my sickle cell anemia a break. With my PF Flyers, I sat on the side, watching you play full-court basketball, wiping the backboard so clean I called you Windex. Always in front of me with your Chuck Taylor big old sneakers. Ooh, that man. Uncle Lenny sipping coffee, teaching us about banking and how not to stay on the corner and remain stupid. The promise you made to escape somewhere. You know they're buying up Harlem. Y'all better buy up Harlem and put these Heinekens down, Uncle Lenny used to say. The first to have a car, taking us to Uncle Pat's rib joint, where even the sliced bread stood attention over the barbecue sauce. More than nickels, dimes, quarters. Ooh, that man, we left each other for a while, Doug. You and I. Me, deep into Brooklyn. Learning about girls, stickball, R&B. Then down into the southeast, counting grapefruits as they fell off trucks. Seeing my father, who didn't tell his wife and 2 kids, he already had 3 other wives and 4 kids. In Vero Beach, where I was asked out of a bar, too many Goldwater Confederate Wallace stickers eyeballing me. Moved back to New York, couldn't find you for a while, Doug. Me still trying to understand my sickle cell crises, less frequent now. You asked about it during 9/11, when we talked about my sister Denise, over Doublemint gum, her 9-inning demise from the double stroke, double renal failure with a side of diabetes on the ice. Ooh, that man. Shared our thoughts of Miles, Mingus, and Monk. Well, you know, I can still play the Duke of Earl. Taking that long, smooth ride to see you, Doug. Good, D, you said. We need to get closer. No longer did I feel so far away, craving our grandmother's codfish cakes, spiced buns, early morning coffee, realizing that only hummingbirds fly backwards. Ooh, that man. Ooh, that man. Jeanette. She was the first I think. One summer night in Prospect Park, a quiet time away from gang rivalry in Ocean Hill, Brownsville, and Free Angela, Free Huey signs, hours after the community picnics had dispersed. Grass on some of the spilled potato salad and barbecue chicken, mosquitoes feasting on leftovers, staple singers, and the 5 stair steps. Everyone split up into their groups, rejoining families and warm Kool-Aid. Some folded blankets and chairs to store in trunks of Oldsmobiles and Buicks. Others combed their hair and buttoned shirts. A few stayed and drifted into the night. In my tank top and bell bottoms and big fro, my first cool cigarette. We exchanged sips of Old English 800 and long kisses, looking up at the moon. Or was it Gloria? Thank you.
Bravo, Darryl. Thank you so much.